Right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly webinar. Nice to see you guys all here again. Thank you very much for joining. So today we'll be discussing a little bit about the introduction of our video intercom systems. So I'm really excited. And as normal, we are following a procedure going through. So we have introduced this in the past, but we're carrying on. And in the next quarter, we've got some additional things regarding this for the product introduction with the new things. All right, so let's get started on that one. Let me just open up here for you guys so you can see instead of looking at me. All right, so starting. All right, video intercom. So there's a lot of products on the market. Obviously, we have a very nice solution for you guys. So, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar. So from IP-based to 2-wire to 4-wire, and then obviously the online tool that I'll go through that I think it might help you guys a little bit more. That's why I said we work it in portions. And the next quarter, I have the complete freedom. So I'll change a lot about these webinars for you guys to make it even more exciting and better for you to use as a tool. Right. So on the IP base, very straightforward, very familiar as what we did in the past. So let me get that laser because now I know it works. All right. So you have obviously your HIK-xample as a software, or you could use IVMS AC. That's for the access control as well. It will also work with the video intercom. For those of you that aren't familiar with the naming rules, I do have a little shortcut for you. So normally it starts off with the DS and then obviously the product number. So a little bit later on, we'll go through that. So I will explain that a bit more on the naming rule to make it easier for you guys. You can also have a master station. These master stations are really nice to use, especially for control room or for any, sorry, there's a bug here. Anyway, so then from that master station, you can have it to your LAN or like I mentioned, to your control room center or to a guards room. And then from there to your switch to your door station, which will open up maybe maglocks or gate or whatever you prefer. And then it will go towards the rest of the units in that building. They can also call through to, if nobody answers there, it will go through to the HIK-Connect app. And then I can get it on their phone and say, okay, to Mr. Uber Eats, yes, we are hungry. You can come in from your phone. Right. Okay. So obviously we also have the normal solution as well for that basic setup. Okay. So regarding the rest of it, obviously a very good quality of image, a very wide field of view. So on these devices, and also we can configure it through your mobile app or to the normal portal itself on the IVMS AC itself. So it makes life a little bit easier. You have multiple ways of communicating through PoE, very easy, plug and play, web, etc. There's other communications as well for us to be able to interact with it, whether it's OnWith or ISAP itself or Android. So it gives you that capability, and obviously unlocking with your face makes life a lot easier. Okay. So regarding the product line itself for the IP, we have different solutions from your Ultra series. So that's your more advanced ones. And then obviously also the Pro series. So different ways that we can do that, and as well as the normal door stations. That can be configured and communicate directly to the indoor stations. And the indoor stations can also talk to the master station. So if you would like to use the video intercom for hotel purposes, you can put this by the reception desk at the hotel. I normally use this example because I think it's very brilliant and it's a very nice design and easy plug and play. So basically just IP ports itself. So there's no need to run additional cables because normally in each room there's already Wi-Fi. So it makes life a lot easier. Then you can also have the indoor station. Here as example, I've got the Android unit as a normal example. So with that, if you would like to, in your room at the hotel, order a toasted cheese sandwich, sorry, then you can basically call through to the operator, which is on the master station, and tell them that you would like for your room a toasted sandwich. Or if they would like to, as a normal service itself from the main desk, they can let you know that, listen, I see that you are still in your room. So they will call through, tell you that you're still in your room and the cleaning ladies are on their way. You know, is that going to be fine? Whichever the way. So very nice. Okay. So obviously a very wide quality field of view itself. And obviously we do have that night quality as well on the devices for the outdoor stations, as well as we have that WDR enabled on these devices, so you don't have that very strong backlight that's interfering. Okay, next up, there are multiple different ways of setting this up, but we have a 5 easy wizard step. So it's very straightforward. You select what you would like, you take through your next options. If you would like to put up IP address and so on, you select your room, your HIK-Connect account, and then basically select which door station and you are done. So it's very simple, very easy, straightforward to use. Next up is obviously if you do have it connected to your HIK-Connect app itself, mobile app, very straightforward. You'll get the notifications. You can unlock and open up the door. You can speak to the person, answer the call, you know, block the call, and it will send them a message through that little outdoor station telling them that the operator is not available at the moment. And then if you are in a meeting and you do press no, then you can later on go through that live feed or that history itself to make sure that you know who it was or whatever the case is. Okay, so going on with the indoor station family itself, very nice. Again, we have multiple different products. I'm very impressed with our Android device itself because there's a lot more that we can do with it. Obviously, we can install the HIK-Connect app on it, or it's already got the HIK-Connect app. But whatever you put on your HIK-Connect app, whether it's your cameras, your alarm, etc., you can have it on there as well, and you can add additional apps. So it makes life a lot easier. Right. So this is the Android new model itself. So you'll see that it's got a B next to it. So that's the new version itself. So it's a little bit different compared to the previous model. It gives us a bit more flexibility, a little bit more that we can do. The Android version is Android 10. So it's been upgraded as well. So we have a lot more that we can do with that. All right. So very nice little features, very easy to use. All right. So next up is just the Lite series itself. So for those straightforward plug-and-play systems, if you would like to, and these are your options. So some of the models have built-in Wi-Fi and some don't. So make sure that you check up which one you would like to use itself for that specific. And when we go through the tool, you'll see how easy that is. All right, and then obviously the door stations, the different models like we mentioned earlier, and as you can see, the amount that it can handle. All right, so majority of all of these have the capability of also having the cards or passwords on them. It depends on what your preference or your option is for your client. And also, as you can see with a different amount of models, you can choose what you would like. These ones are very popular because you can use them for a standalone house, or you can use them for a house with a granny flat, or you can have the one with a 4. So if it's a little complex area where there's multiple little houses on it, like 4 houses, it gives you that capability. It makes life a little bit easier. Okay. Then we have the big one for the bigger complex areas, the bigger units. Then you can have these are like little plug and play together. So you can basically add these modules and basically set up how you would like it. So whether you would like just to have the camera and maybe just the buttons with the names itself, you can select that and then obviously assign each button to whichever indoor station it needs to go to. So you can decide what you would like. All right, a lot of the complexes are using the M1 reader itself as an example. So you have that little card, and then you at the gate, you just give your card, and then it will open up the boom. And it's PoE. Right, then we have the new facial one as well. This is also very popular, very nice design as well. You have the little facial section there. You have the little display as well. It is IP rated, so it's outdoor. You do have rain shields as well, and there's multiple little options that you have there, and a lot of faces that you can enroll. Right, very nice design, and also it's a plastic metal casing as well. Okay, very nice. And then here's the normal use, like I mentioned earlier. So you can select, you can have the one with only the 1 or the one with the 2. So if it's a house and a granny flat, and again, card or whatever your option is, and multiple different shields with that. Then on our master station, which is pretty awesome, this is a very nice little unit itself. There's a lot that you can do with it. So obviously you have the microphone, you have the built-in speaker, you can add the cameras in there. There's a lot that you can do with this unit itself. So makes life a lot easier. And then obviously they would be able to see the operator as well. But obviously from the indoor station, you don't really want them to see you inside the house. Okay, so it's normal intercom use. Okay, then from the 2-wire system, straightforward. If it is existing 2-wire system, you do have that capability. And as we went through the previous quarter, we went and we discussed these little modules to extend those little indoor stations. So it gives you that same capability, just like the IP, but obviously just 2-wire. But obviously we are limited to what we can do with it. And we can also add our cameras to it as well. So if there's a bigger setup, as you can see, we can really extend it a lot more than what it was done before. All right. So these models, if you see them, you'll see a little bit later, they do have the S on them. You'll start off with the S, and then you'll go through the normal ones to extend them, etc., etc. Right. So normal 2-wire, so you can have it for normal household. So that can be basically your outdoor station with a, it's got a striker lock here, but you can put up your gate motor as example. I think that's what most of the guys are using it for lately. And then obviously Wi-Fi, take it directly to your Wi-Fi network. And then your indoor station, you can provide power and then basically connect up your Wi-Fi. So you don't have to run a cable from upstairs all the way downstairs and then connect it to your app. All right, 2-wire system, very straightforward. So this is the family base for that. It depends on what your options are. You know, it's up to you how you would like to do that setup. All right, as we mentioned earlier. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a configuration of which little packages you would like to take for the analog side. And then you also have the big 2-wire system as well for the bigger complex area. If you want still the normal big and you have the existing cables, you can go that route. But most of us are going the IP route because just makes life a lot easier. And you can do the health monitoring of those IPs on the HIK-Central. Indoor stations, you can also have the bracket as well to make it a little bit easier for you to use. You have quite a bit of notifications as well as the third-party notifications that can be displayed also on that device. Makes life a little bit easier. So the buttons on these devices as well, it's very nice little buttons on the indoor station. So it's very lit up. They stand out, so it's easy to press them. It's just for a normal, general, old analog way of doing things. This is very basic and very easy if your client might not be familiar with the modern IP type of equipment. If they still got that 3310, this is for them. Joking. All right. So 2-wire system, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of different applications that we can use this for, especially if it comes to the wiring itself. So again, just to run that down again, it's a very cost-effective system. It's easy quality of image as well for any person to see. And obviously it helps to make sure that everything is just plug and play and you carry on. All right, then on our 4-wire system, it's very similar to our 2-wire system. So again, same principle, same setup. Obviously, you can also get the different kits available. So it depends on what your preference is. And again, the quality of that camera is very wide and it's a very good quality. You also have that night vision as well to have that proper quality of image at night. And if there's a strong backlight, you do have that WDR that's enabled like our normal cameras do. That's the nice thing about our technology, seeing that we are the front runners when it comes to surveillance cameras. So just to go through that a little bit, oh, did I miss something? Yeah. Okay, so just to discuss quickly the tool. Again, this module is a little bit easier, but we're going to go through this little tool just to show you guys. This is the link for that tool. So it will be tool.hik.com. So that is the web link itself. So you can use it through a normal Chrome or Firefox itself. And it's very straightforward, very easy to use. I'm going to show you guys how to set that up, how to use that in the next little moment. Okay, so that is our PPT. That's just a little bit of an introduction of the product. It's very straightforward. If you are familiar with intercoms and stuff like that, we have that solution. We have mentioned this in the past before. So you can look at the previous video. And now we're going to quickly have a look at that little tool itself. I'm going to quickly put that onto the screen here. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So this is where you'll get to the website itself. There's quite a bit of tools. A lot of you might be familiar with the SADP tool, which is pretty nice to use. But today we're going to be discussing the intercom tool itself. Yes, we are bringing out in the next quarter a proper video regarding all the little tools and little options that you have. But today I'm going to discuss this one for you guys. So once we've opened up, we can select what we would like. So today we're going to, let's go first of all towards a building as example, or let's just take a normal house, and you have a 2-wire system and you would like to do normal, let's say that itself. So you go next. Once you go next, let's see what options we have. Come on. If the internet works. All right. Great. My internet is great, yeah. Okay, let's just wait for it to quickly load. Come on. There we go. All right. It took me to the page. All right, sorry guys, but anyway, so it took me to the wrong page. But as you can see, now we can select what option we want. So basically we can go and say, let's go with this baby over here. This is what we want for our client. Let's go and say, okay, we would like to have 2 of those for this specific area. Then after we are done with that, we can select what the next options are for us. Come on. So we can select the next option. So let's go and say, okay, we want a normal rain shield for that baby. So let's select the rain shield. What else do we have here? I think that's about it. So then we go with the next option. Ooh, door station. Did I miss something? No, we can perhaps go with this one next. Let's see if it takes it. And that's the nice thing about the tool. So if you make a mistake, it will let you know. And then we go to the next option. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. The nice thing is on the website, you have all that. Oh, yes, yes, it is Africa. Thank you very much. Yeah, Africa. Come on, go. So the nice thing about the website, while we wait for that page to load, there we go. You can basically go through all the different products and all the different ranges on here on our website itself. Okay, makes life a lot easier. So now we can select what we would like for the indoor station. Yes, we would like to have the app. Yes, the Wi-Fi in the app. So we can select, yes, we want that baby for the indoor station. So now we can go with the next option. So on the next option, come on, move. There we go. We can say what we would like. So you can decide. If you don't want the bracket, you don't want the bracket. You can decide if you would like. But let's go for just little giggles. We add the bracket itself. Now we say, okay, would like to have the power supply? Yes, we would like to have the power supply for that. And now we can also change. Even though we've got one, we can go and change. So this is the S model, like I mentioned earlier. This is where you start if you've got multiple displays itself, if you would like to extend it, if you have more than 2 or whatever the case is. So obviously from that, there is a wiring diagram for that. It will explain all that. And then you go over to this one to extend it. So if you have, let's say, out of these specific units itself, you have, let's say, 40, then you're going to basically use one of these and you're going to be using quite a few of these extra. So each one has a channel. So you can have either 5 and 1 outdoor station, or you can have 5 indoor stations connected to it. Right. Makes life a lot easier. And then obviously on this specific model, you can connect up the 5 of this specific model itself. Okay. So straightforward. Then we can also decide, let's go with a mag lock. So just as an example, and then we can say, I like this key fob. It's off this little key tag itself. This card reader is really nice. Got the logo on. I like it. So you'll see that it won't allow me to go next. Reason being, I haven't selected maybe a bracket. So let's go with a bracket for that. So it looks like I can't take that specific model. So let's go with the normal. Nope, doesn't allow me to. So somewhere along the line, I missed this step. So let's see. We did take a bracket. We took a power supply. Let's go with the normal unit itself. Looks like I have missed. Oh, there we go. Okay, so We can select, oh, let's go with the exit button as well. We can add maybe a tag reader right there. So this will allow us. So now it says on the 2Y system. So it will give you that explanation, which makes life a little bit easier. So if we quickly go back to the beginning as well, just to show the differences. So now we can basically select, yeah, okay, clear it. Come on, apartment, IP, and we say all in one, and we go next. So you can play around with this tool. I'm going to quickly just do one demonstration more, and then I'll show you how it will look like at the end. So now we can select which model we would like. So I'm going to go with a nice and fancy one. And then is there another option on the top? Yeah, we can put a little bracket there. So let's go with a nice bracket for that. And we go next. Then we can select what we would like. So I would like to have the indoor station. Let's just see if there's anything else. That's the 3. Let's go with that indoor station. And obviously Wi-Fi and everything else. We don't need a master station. We go next. Then we can select what we would like. So we can add a power supply, or we can add a POE switch there. And let's add a mag lock, a bracket. Let's go with this one as an example. And we don't need to have the key tag or anything like that. We can add an exit button for that door. We go next. So this is your little layout. So now you complete it. So now you know what products will fit with what products and what you need for your solution for that company or that business or that property. You can download the naming rule. You can export this list itself, or you can reset it or go previous. So which is pretty nice. It's a nice little tool, nice setup for any person that really does a lot of video intercom installations. So then you can just select. And then the nice thing about this is you can export this file and send it through to your company that you order the stock from. So it makes life easy. So all the model numbers are there, the naming rules are there, and your whole setup is there, and you know that everything will work. Obviously, you need to run your own cables. All right. So very straightforward, very easy. I hope this helped a lot. This will be on our material as well. And there's a lot more tools that you can use through the HIK system. So there is multiple different tools that you can use, and we'll go through all that in the future. All right, that is it for the recording. After this is the Q&A. If there's any questions, please let us know and stay behind. And doesn't matter what it is, let's just go through whatever questions you have. We are here to support you guys. All right, for those that's leaving the recording, thank you very much. See you guys next week.